Hello guys, welcome to the second video of Impactful Coding. Today we have Jacky here. In the past summer, Jacky worked as a software engineer intern at Optum, which is a branch of United Health Group. In this video, he's going to share his experience and what he learned through the internships. So Jacky, can you introduce yourself?
Hi guys, my name is Jacky. I'm currently a sophomore at Stony Brook University, pursuing BS in computer science.
Alright, so Jacky, first question is, how did you hear about this opportunity and what was the application process like?
So United Health Group has their own application, but I heard about this through somebody I knew at the career center in my school. He said that United Health Group was opening up more positions for interns since the internship converted to a remote format. So United Health Group was able to open up more positions. So he referred me to this program called Inroads that basically I submitted my resume to, and they would send it to the company. And then a couple, I think it was like 3 days later, they sent me like an interview. The HireVue application, which I did, and then I think it was like 2 weeks later, I got the notification from the recruiter that I got the position.
Well, so were there like stages to the application process, or the interview process rather? Do you have to go through a video interview and then you talk to a person who works for the company? Or is it just like a straight HireVue interview and then they made the decisions off of that?
It was a straight HireVue interview, I think. Yeah.
So when you interview with the person from the company, it's just like to get to know you better. You already hired at that point, I assume?
Yeah, I was already hired at that point basically. And they just wanted to know me better, know my skill set, whatnot.
How much experience did they expect from you?
Keep in mind that this was my first real software engineering internship, and going in, I was really motivated to start working. And basically the format of the internship was they were split into two groups. One group was the Shark Tank group, and the other group was the regular interns. The Shark Tank group was basically an actual application development team, right? There was I think there was 10 teams, and each of us was assigned different issues that we had to work on and kind of solve through technical innovation in a sense. And my team was assigned the problem of maternal morbidity amongst ethnic minorities.
Mm-hmm. So you mentioned that it's sort of so you were on the Shark Tank team, right? Just to reiterate, okay. So can you describe what that was like? Because for people who don't know what Shark Tank is, can you just give a brief insight of how their experience was like?
Okay, so Shark Tank, just out of the internship is basically a program where it's basically like a TV show where entrepreneurs go in front of investors, right, pitch their idea, and then hopefully get a investment deal. Mm-hmm. So it's somewhat like that, where we have a team, and then a team of developers, marketers, whatever, business people, whatever you call it. And then what they would do is we would, come up with an idea of how to approach the problem. And then every 2 weeks, they call it sprints. What they would do is we would go in front of a panel of judges, present what we did. Sometimes it would be executives there, and hopefully they would notice and maybe push it forward when the internship ended.
All right, sounds good. And can you just go through the steps in the development of the project that you made?
Yeah, so basically in the beginning it was the research phase where we met with a lot of people like doctors, other executives, to find out what the company is currently doing to solve this issue, and then afterwards, basically we discussed a bit, and then we came up with an idea, which our idea was like an app. It's basically increase access to medical resources for mothers. And then after that, it was, we didn't reach development phase. I think it might be like 4 weeks before we reached development phase, because like we came across some pretty significant issues.
Okay. So just to put into perspective, how long was the entire internship?
It was I forgot. I think it was like 8 weeks, 10 weeks.
So for half the internship, you weren't even developing yet. It was just to get to know the company better, to meet with all the different departments within the company, and to get better insight of what the problem is.
That was the thing, right? Like at first, like from like this being my first internship, my first perspective of software development was like, oh, we're going straight in, we're developing, we're all of the technical stuff. But like what I learned is really not that. There's like so much that goes into it. So like the first step, the most important step would be the research. How can we get this product to like so much people? Like, because if we make this product without research, right, we wouldn't know if people will actually use it, right? And being like United Health Group is such a big company, we don't really know like if the higher ups will like accept this product. So funding, that's also another big issue, right?
But yeah, I think that really does clear up some misconceptions about being a software engineer. It's the fact that they don't just sit there and program, right? They have to think about, or when they come up with solutions to a problem, they have to take into account of like whether or not the solution is practical, whether or not the company has the resources to support it, and whether or not like it's something that people are going to be using, right? So I think that when you apply for software engineering internships, you shouldn't just be considering the types of frameworks, languages that you're going to be using based off the job description. You should be thinking about like whether or not you're going to be able to solve the types of problem that the company will be facing. Well, which part do you think was easier though? Like or not easier, but which part do you think was a lot less, I guess, which part you struggle less in?
I struggle less in. I definitely struggle less in the research part.
Really?
But like it's definitely important, like the research, because we had so much people. We had like 8 people on my team, and we were all doing research at the same time. And then every day, like at a certain time, we'd have this team meeting, discuss what everyone did and stuff like that. Like that was pretty smooth. But the thing with the Shark Tank format was that every 2 weeks you have to have something, right? You have to have something on the table, like whether it's research. Like yeah, we had pretty good research. Like for the sprints that mainly focus on research, we had like significant like information about it. And then the development part was like more like we don't have that much time, right? We have to get going, start developing and stuff like that. So like I feel like that was much more stressful and used way more time than the research.
Okay, Jacky. So what challenge did you face during the project?
Okay, so there were 2 main challenges, as I said previously. One was the technology aspect. Like the managers were also noticing this, and the judges, and we told them, right? It was, for some reason, somebody in the company messed up, and they sent us Windows laptops that weren't compatible with like Android emulators for some reason. So we had to find ways to get around it, which took time off our development time. And like I don't think it's not the like the program's fault. It's probably someone in the like that's in charge of distributing all the computers. So but we got over that, and we managed to get the project in time. And something else is communication. Like I'm sure like everyone is aware of, like with all this remote work happening, you're bound to have technical difficulties, right? You're bound to have like connection errors, something like that, and not everyone is in the same time zone. Because I was working with people that were in like California, were from like the Midwest, right? And like when I wake up at 12 p.m., like they wake up at like what, like 8 a.m. or like 7 a.m., right? Mm-hmm. So yeah, that was like another issue we had to come across, but we managed to make it work.
Oh, that's interesting. Wait, so I thought, because when you were talking about this internship with me, when we were working on the project, I thought it was like a 9 to 5 job, but how are the hours like? Was there a set time that you had to get on, or do you guys just hop on whenever everyone's ready?
That was the thing, right? Like as a team, like they gave us the freedom to make our own schedule. Like if we were to be in person, we had to be there like 9 a.m. sharp, right? But for this remote, I'd say one of the positive things would be that as a team, we had the opportunity to make our own time because we were in different time zones, right? So we set a certain time that everyone agreed on, like no matter the time zone that you're in, right? We set a specific time. So like 11 a.m. Eastern or 10 a.m. Eastern, right? And then we convert it, and then so everyone has to be there at that time, like no questions.
And so can you just go through what types of skills you would learn from this experience? And we can I guess separate it and say what technical skills you learned and what soft skills you developed as being part of this internship.
Yeah, so technical skills, on the technical side, my team mainly used React Native, so JavaScript, whatnot, React, and we use Firebase, which is a backend as a service provided by Google. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was basically the main, the core of our app, basically. For the social, I definitely learned a lot of like soft skills as well. Like for example, team collaboration, which is extremely important in the software industry. Learn communication and definitely like leadership skills. Like you had to stand up and like take charge when like something's not going around. You can't just sit there. Like for example, all the difficulties we had, right? If we were to like just sit there and like say we couldn't do anything, we wouldn't have finished the project. But instead we did the research first. We went to do the research where like we talked with IT and see what they could do, and we talked with the judges, etc. Mm-hmm. So yeah.
In the past summer, due to COVID-19, many companies chose to move on to remote working. Do you think that made the job easier or more difficult?
Personally, I like the fact that it's remote because it opens up a lot of doors for like people who wouldn't be able to work. Let's say like if they're from another country, right? They wouldn't be able to come all the way down here to North Carolina to do this internship. But now that it's remote, like anybody could do it from any location they want, right? But on the other side, like definitely remote made it really kind of difficult for like people on different teams to like communicate with each other. Because let's say you send an email to somebody and like it's really late on their end, they wouldn't be able to answer it. Mm-hmm. Or like for example, if you're face to face with someone, you could tell like, oh, what's going on, right? You're not gonna why are they not doing the work? But if like you're remote, right? You don't know what somebody else is going through, so you wouldn't really be able to tell like, oh, are they doing the work or are they just slacking?
Yeah, it's harder to manage your team, I suppose.
Yeah, and that definitely goes into the leadership aspect. You definitely learn to like talk with your team, even when it's really hard to do so.
Uh-huh. So for students who are looking into going to the software development field within the healthcare industry, what do you think they should be expecting when working at a big health company such as the United Health Group?
Definitely expect to definitely expect it to be like fast paced, because health industry is really, really big. Like it's really confusing too. That's why it's still such a big problem. And United Health Group is like their mission statement. I think it's basically provide affordable healthcare to everyone, right? Definitely expect to like work fast, collaborate,
Think outside the box.
things outside the box. Yes. But when you're talking about like future interns, are you saying like what they can expect from this internship?
So yeah, I think we should
Or-
stick to Optum for this question, just because it's the only company you've interned for as a software engineer as of right now. It could be different for other companies. So yeah, so what do you think people who want to intern at Optum should be expecting?
For this company, I would say expect to really get ahead of your work, like especially in the Shark Tank format. Like, it's if you're stacking off, they're gonna let you know. Like even during the meetings, your manager, they're gonna let you know. I know my manager was like a more hands-free kind of manager. Like he would pop in certain meetings and stuff, and it would be up to us kind of to like do what we were supposed to do, in a sense. But the judges, right? The judges will know if you're slacking off, and they'll probably tell you. And not only also be prepared to like talk to different people, like not even like people like within your team, like people inside the company. Like for example, like you said, we talked to doctors, we talked to physicians, we even like did a Facebook kind of like a Facebook campaign type thing where we surveyed like pregnant mothers. So be prepared to do like all types of stuff. Yeah, and yeah.
All right.
Okay, so after going through the internships, will you go back?
Definitely, I would definitely consider going back. Like, this was more than I could ask for. Because since it was my first internship, it was such a great experience. I learned so much about like what it's actually like to work as a software engineer on a team. And also, most importantly, I really got to work on something like so impactful to like so many people. So if you like doing that, right, I would 10 out of 10 recommend this internship.
Well, that's it for this interview. Thank you so much, Jacky.
Thank you.
Learned a lot about your internship. I'm sure a lot of people are also thinking about applying for software engineering internships, especially like during these times when most companies are probably going to do remote internships. I think learning about how your experience was during a remote internship is definitely very meaningful. So thank you so much for being able to share your experience with us.
Yeah, of course.